Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with Part 10, Nature's Moral Standard of the Brotherhood of Man by J.E. Richardson TK. Chapter 10, Nature's Moral Standard. One of the problems of human life which has puzzled many of the wisest and ablest men of all time is whether or not there is such a thing in nature as a definite standard of morality or morals. The confusion arises out of the following deductions. 1. God or nature is just. 2. No two individual human souls are the same in point of development. 3. No two possesses the same knowledge of nature's laws. 4. No two have the same power of self-control. 5. No two have the same degree of intelligence or understanding. 6. No two are influenced by the same environment. 7. No two have the same evolutionary unfoldment. 8. There are all shades and degrees of development, knowledge, self-control, intelligence, understanding, and education among the human family. 9. How then is it possible for nature to establish any single, definite, arbitrary, and unvarying standard of morality or morals that will include and apply to all mankind? 10. How can it be possible in justice to establish any arbitrary standard of morality or morals which shall apply to all these children of men the same? 11. It must be that nature is unjust. But nature says to us, I am just, for in fixing a standard of morality or morals, I have taken into account every element, fact, and condition you have mentioned, as well as an almost infinite number of additional inequalities, and I have formulated a standard that fits them all, with absolute scientific exactness and precision. I have done this by making knowledge and soul growth the basis on which I measure the degree of moral accountability and personal responsibility, an exact measure with his knowledge at any given time. I make man morally accountable and personally responsible. The infant at physical birth is neither morally accountable nor personally responsible from our human measure of values. Why? Because it has no intelligence or knowledge which, as yet, measures up to our man-made standards. Under statutory laws, your own boy does not reach the full stature of personal responsibility and moral accountability until he has arrived at the physical age of 21 years. The day before he reaches majority, he is still an infant under the law of the land. The day afterwards, he is a man. At the age of 18, he may possess greater knowledge and wisdom than your neighbor of 50, who is the father of half a dozen children. Nevertheless, your son is an infant under the law and your neighbor is a man. But the boy is not morally accountable nor personally responsible for his actions, according to our human standards, while your neighbor is. Does this seem to exemplify equity, justice, and right? Clearly not. Nature, however, measures the accountability and the responsibility of both boy and man, each by the sum of his individual knowledge and individual soul development. By this is his own individual standard. It is neither yours nor mine nor that of any other individual whomsoever. It is the individual's own personalized standard. This gives to each of them the definite knowledge and soul growth by which he may determine his own exact and just moral standard and the degree of his own personal responsibility. Neither can bind the other by any but the individual's own standard. I cannot hold you to my standard, nor can you hold me to yours. Nature does not even so much as attempt to do so. On the other hand, she holds each individual morally accountable and personally responsible only in strict accordance with his own standard. which means his own knowledge and full development. In truth, by what other standard could even nature justly measure the degree of any individual's accountability and responsibility under her law? None whatever. Under the definition, which expresses nature's own concept of moral accountability and personal responsibility, it will be observed that each individual is bound to conform his life solely and entirely to his own standard of equity, justice, and right. Under this standard which nature holds each of us bound by, there are as many different standards of moral accountability and personal responsibility as there are different individuals upon the earth at any given time. Even so, each standard fits the individual to which it belongs, and it can not possibly fit any other. Compare this, the meaning of the measure of moral accountability and personal responsibility, with another phase of nature's plan and purpose, and observe how perfectly they supplement each other. Natural science does not hesitate to assure us that, measured by all the exact knowledge it has acquired, up to the present time, the apparent purpose of nature in reference to man as a human being is the evolution of the individual intelligence. Note the important fact that the process is one which has to do with the individual intelligence only. This is a natural concomitant of the moral order of nature, which gives to every man an individual moral standard that is scientifically adjusted to him and him only. Take note also that this does not even contemplate a single moral standard for all mankind, regardless of individual knowledge, soul growth, or individuality achieved. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. If you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.